versus the Charlestown Chiefs. Brought to you by Sheehan's Rustproofing. The Chiefs have just come out on the ice for a warm-up period. They're about to try for their 5th consecutive win. They're getting a good round of applause from their own booster club, who have traveled all the way from Charlestown to be here in Peterborough tonight.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, make your next move a power play with Mike Burgoyne of Real Brokerage Realty. First responders, veterans, doctors, nurses, teachers, and yes, Let's Go Blues Radio listeners get special rates. Visit strikewithmike.com or email him at mike@strikewithmike.com and score big today.
Have you subscribed to the LGB Minute podcast yet? It's a 5-minute weekly St. Louis Blues podcast hosted by Jeff Ponder that is released multiple times a week to fill the gap between Let's Go Blues Radio episodes. Subscribe today.
So awesome, so handsome, so smart, you'll agree. Kurt, Jeff, and Bill are on TV. It's radio on TV. Oh yeah, it's radio on TV.
From St. Louis, and with two very pissed off Blues fans right now, I am Jeff Ponder, and I'm joined by the man sitting on the dock of a bay, Mr. Bill Day. Kirk Price is facing allegations. We're bringing you the often imitated, never duplicated, the experts regarding gooch flexibility, the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. This is the 8th episode of season 15 and the 536th episode of all time. It is Thursday, it's not Thursday. It is Tuesday, November 18th, and we're coming to you live. Tonight, we're talking about the Blues' collapse, upset, whatever you want to call it. Kind of a fun game, but annoying end with the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, as well as the NHL debut of a young defenseman, the Blues' disastrous weekend, and a player possibly returning from injury soon. All that and more on this sultry episode of Let's Go Blues Radio. We will we'll get into it pretty quickly here, the Blues and Maple Leafs game that just happened. I think first positive that one of the few, I guess there was a couple positives. I want to try to get something out positive first. I liked this game. It was an entertaining game. I thought the Blues, they talked about it on the broadcast after the Dvorsky goal. I felt like they really upped their game, and they really took it to Toronto in the third period. I loved that drive. We haven't seen that from this team pretty much all season. That was where the positives were. And again, there's moments in that we can talk about later. But overall, a disappointing end to this game, as we saw all weekend from the Blues. But Bill, welcome to the show, and thanks for being here, even though we were both just very disappointed.
Yes, I get to talk now.
You do, yes, you now.
Okay.
You go. Rest of the show, it's all Bill.
All right. I was just losing myself there for a second. Well,
yeah, because you love the sultry sound of my voice.
Right. I think I was ruminating on that word sultry.
There you go.
Right. It's earlier than we normally do this, so it's not like the late night edition, but it's the sultry edition. It works.
Yes.
I'll allow it. But I mean, ho hum, Blues lose again.
Tough season so far. It's we'll see what happens the rest of the way, but at this point I gotta say I'm pretty much at panic button mode. I know we talk about that every week, like how close are you? And most weeks we're like, they can still pull it out. The way this team's playing, even with their late season heroics that we've seen them have a couple seasons lately, I just don't see them pulling themselves out of this. They're getting themselves in such a hole so early that I just can't. And again, don't talk to me about 2019. That was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Mm-hmm. Last season, yes, they did have some heroics that led to them making the playoffs, but they continue down this path, which everything tells me they will. This is not going to turn out to be a good season for the Blues.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I mean, do we save it for later, or do we just go
Let's
for
try and
broke?
save it for later. We got some
Yeah.
stuff here. Let's talk about, first of all, good news this weekend. Making some money for charity near and dear to my heart. And I know, Bill, it means a lot to you and pretty much anyone who's ever played in this tournament too. Leukemia research. So, well, actually, it's more for bone marrow matches. I hate that I can never remember their new name. I think it's NMDP. Used to be the match. No idea why they changed it. Horrible decision, because I cannot remember the name of that for the life of me anymore. But that's who we're benefiting.
It's another thing of, their instance of enshittification. Take something good and make it bad.
Yes, exactly. That made no sense. I think I don't know if they merged with another company or what it was, but yeah, something happened where they were like, we should change this great name that everybody knows to an acronym that nobody knows. But either way, a big weekend. One of my favorite weekends of the year. It is the Stanley Ponder Memorial Cup Tournament in honor of my late father, who passed from leukemia. We are going to play a lot of hockey. I always forget how many games total there are, but it's 6 teams. We draft these teams on Thursday, so should be a fun night. We got some real good skill coming in. Also, some guys that really don't play much, like our friend Joe Schmo over in the YouTube chat. He'll be playing with us this weekend, so that'll be fun. But yeah, we're raring to go. We start at 11 o'clock. We're going to have a little bit of a pregame ceremony going since the 10th year that we've been doing it. And we'll get going about 11:15 with the games. We got raffles all day, some really cool raffles in there, including some Blues tickets. So show up and check it out. It's a lot of fun. Anything you do, if you just walk in and buy a soda, some of that money will go towards the NMDP organization. So make sure you come in and check us out, have some fun. We'll also have the Blues game up on the TVs. Not that anyone really wants to watch that right now, but we will have the Blues game on as well. They start at 2:30 that day. So come watch some bad hockey and even more bad hockey with the St. Louis Blues.
But then maybe by the evening they'll put something else on that's decent.
Yeah, we'll maybe get like a good team that'll actually play. That'll be fun. And maybe a team that doesn't shell out the corpse of a player for every opportunity they can on left wing who wears number 89. Who could I be talking about? I don't know.
Alexander McGillney's dead.
Oh, no, don't ever say that. I love that guy. He was great. Who else has worn 89? I feel like I should know this.
Yeah, there have been plenty.
There's been plenty. Not coming to mind right now, though. All right. Well, the official beers of episode number 536. You can follow each of us on the Untapped app. I am at JPonder94. Billy's at Billy Blue Note 33. Whatever. Bill, we've been rolling with me starting this whole season. They suck. So let's flip it. You are now going to lead us off on beers of the episode.
All right. And I am going with local and glad it's back. I think they brought it back last year, but I didn't get any. Schlafly Christmas Ale, the original. That Mary Berry stuff they were peddling there for a few years, not the same thing.
No.
I love winter warmers, even though it's 70 degrees here today. This is one of my all-time favorite Christmas ales. So super happy to see it and pick it up. I think I got this at Friar Tuck. But it was at Schnucks the other night when I was there. So it's everywhere. I will definitely be picking up more. Just love the malty, warm holiday flavors of this beer.
Yep. Yeah. I that's one of my favorites. Breckenridge makes a really good Christmas ale too. And what I love about those is I don't know what any other place does. I know Schnucks and Deerbergs do. They sell the little like mini pints or the mini
keg. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love that, and I will admit I will crush that in a weekend. Like it's so good, and I just want to keep going back. Like I remember last year, and I remember specifically the game. The Blues played the Red Wings, and they shut them out. I want to say it was maybe 3-0, 4-0, And I remember I had that mini keg. I was saving it because it was the day before Christmas Eve. It was the last game before Christmas. And I had it sitting here in the basement with me. I hadn't opened it yet. And I was like, oh, I'm going to drink a little bit of this during the game, 2 or 3 glasses. The game ends and I go to like pour more and I'm out. And I'm like, I literally just drank that whole thing by myself.
Yeah, I do recall you did bring that to the last Christmas show that we did in person.
I did. Yeah. Because what I do is right before Christmas, I'll go in and I'll buy like 3 or 4 of them. So that way it'll last me for a couple weeks at least. And and I thought, oh, that'd be a fun thing to bring for our live show that we do together, which we'll see if we do that this year. We haven't talked about it yet, but maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, and yeah, that's a great, excellent beer. And I'm 100% with you on the Mary Berry. It was okay. I had it a couple times. I'm like, that's the way to go. The Christmas ale, the winter warmer. That's the best stuff. One of the best beers they make all year.
Yeah, I need to go back to, like I work right around the corner from there, and I used to go in there with a growler, every Friday. And I probably haven't done that in 10 years. Need to go back to doing that.
Yeah, that's good to have. Those things last a while too.
Oh yeah.
My beer, same one as last week, just because I thought that I need something that'll maybe calm me down a little. Hasn't worked yet, but the Fat Elvis from Four Hands Brewery, the great Absence of Light, the peanut butter chocolate banana milk stout flavor. Nothing beats it. You can see how dark it is here in my Slimer glass. Just a good beer. Again, I'll say, if you don't even like banana, still try this. It's a hint of banana, but if you don't know that, I would guarantee, unless you are a beer connoisseur, you wouldn't even taste it.
Yeah, it's some good stuff. Although it was not in the Four Hands has all their other stouts lined up at the Edwardsville Schnucks. Not a single 4-pack of that. So
what?
Yeah, it's
kidding
crazy.
Me? Yeah. All right, next time I'm at Schnucks, because I went to 2 different ones, and I went to one in Crestwood. No. Where was I? I was closer to the city. I was in Afton. Yeah, the Afton Schnucks, and then the one by me. I've been there, 3 times in the last 2 or 3 weeks? They've had a ton of them. So next time I'm there, I'll at least get you a 4-pack. And next time I'll see you tomorrow. So maybe I'll bring you one tomorrow.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, there we go. Bill's going to get a win tomorrow, just so everyone knows. We're going to play tomorrow night. He's our backup, forced into a starter role right now, and I'm claiming it now. We're getting a W tomorrow. We're 0-4 on the season. We're ready to get a win. So I think this team's going to be pushing for a W, and I know Bill's going to have an excellent night. So looking forward to it.
I'm glad you're confident.
How could I not believe in you, Bill? Come on.
We'll see. I am super looking forward to it, though.
Good. Yeah, I'm not hyping it up too much, am I?
No, not whatsoever.
Nope. All right. Well, let's get into some quick player news, and then we'll take a break and we'll get right into this game. Plenty of stuff to talk about tonight. Jake Neighbours is expected to play on the 5-game road trip at some point. Obviously, he did not play tonight, and that was well known before. They said it will not be in Toronto, but a possibility it could be in Philadelphia on Thursday. He is already traveling with the team. From Blues coach Jim Montgomery, he said, quote, "We expect him to be a player at some point on the trip." The Blues originally said he'll be reevaluated in 5 weeks. If he were to play on Thursday, that would only be 24 days. So clearly he is very ahead of schedule. He's already participating in drills, doing everything in practice. He had 6 goals in 8 games before being sidelined. And to me, he was one of the very few bright spots very early in the season. So, I think he was leading the team in points when he went down.
He was carrying the team when he went down.
Yeah, he was.
That's probably what injured
him. Yeah, the weight of Colton Parayko on his back at all points definitely hurt him. So that would be good news. We'll talk about the game tonight. We'll talk about what happened over the weekend, but clearly the Blues need some kind of spark I felt like it was going to be Dvorsky with the way he's played, but clearly that's not been it. So maybe a Jake Neighbours return will do something for this team.
You know what? It's like making a trade.
Yes, yes. Well, you mentioned trade. Matthew Carpenter over on Facebook. Neighbors should ask for a trade and get out while he can. Yeah, I don't blame you. And let's go ahead and jump into what D Brown SS says. Blues suck. I really, really want to see Armstrong fall on his sword. He's cap-strapped this crap team for years now. No ascension to the president of hockey ops. Just fired. Wow, that would be something. But I don't know.
Never gonna happen. Never.
Yeah.
Gonna happen.
I know it won't happen, but I'm debating whether I want that to happen because I do think he can still provide. Because he's been over the years he's been very reliable as a GM, one of the best in the league. Whether you like to say it or not, he's had some awful contracts. One is currently on the team right now, but overall, nice body of work for Doug Armstrong. And I think having him there for Alexander Steen's at least first season, I think I want somebody to be there that can do that type of job. And I don't know, maybe if you do let him go, you find somebody else who can step in and fill that role. But I'd like to still have Steen have somebody he trusts that he can go to and say, hey, thinking about making this deal, thinking about moving this guy, thinking about calling this guy up. What do you think? Would you do the same? Would you do different? And, just kind of having somebody to bounce ideas off of. It's like when I do a podcast by myself, I have no one to bounce things off of. Same thing for Alexander Steen. I want somebody he trusts and knows to be able to, okay, what should I do here? What would you do if you were in my shoes? So,
yeah, I mean, I would personally like to see Armstrong try a redemption move. That's his thing, right? He's made good redemption moves. He was able to unload Yuri Laterra. If he could pull something off, at this point, I don't think whatever they do that there's enough chemistry on this team for them to become a playoff team. But do something to, wipe a little bit of the stench off of it. Move somebody, move pieces, but they're not going to blow everything up. But I'd like to see at least one move, that we could possibly say, well, that was him owning it.
Yep, I agree. Matthew Carpenter on Facebook also says, when three guys lose that fucking board battle, there are no excuses left. Pathetic lack of effort. And I agree. We will get into that. I just thought that'd be a good thing to end on here in the first segment. We're going to take a quick break, and Bill and I will be right back, and we will break down this Blues and Maple Leafs game. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
What are you doing? Have you not subscribed to the Let's Go Blues Minute yet? Do it wherever you get podcasts. It provides a daily look into the St. Louis Blues, filling the gap between Let's Go Blues radio shows. Go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts, go to Friendster. I don't care. Just subscribe and get fresh Blues content daily. Do it. Like now.
Every hockey team needs that clutch player who knows when to pass, when to shoot, and when to take charge. In real estate, that superstar is Mike Burgoyne of Real Brokerage Realty. Whether you're buying your first home or selling your current one, Mike skates circles around the competition with his knowledge, hustle, and down-to-earth approach. And here's the real zone ability. If you're a first responder, veteran, doctor, nurse, teacher, or even just a loyal Let's Go Blues radio listener, you'll score special rates when you work with Mike. Got questions? Fire them at him. He'll answer quicker than Bill Day's glove hand. Obstacles in your way? He'll plow through them harder than I would in a goalmouth scramble. And when it comes time to close, he'll put it in the back of the net faster than a Kirk Price shot from the slot. So don't just settle for an ordinary realtor. Get the MVP on your side. Visit strikewithmike.com or email him at mike@strikewithmike.com today. Mike Burgoyne, the real estate teammate you can always count on.
Is your business wanting to advertise but not wanting to break the bank? Are you wanting to target 20 to 60-somethings for your product or service? We can help. The Let's Go Blues radio team is currently accepting new advertisers for our live shows and at our website, letsgoblues.com. Pricing starts at just $10 per month. Go to letsgoblues.com/advertising to learn more.
And now, back to Let's Go Blues Radio, the longest running St. Louis Blues podcast with Price, Ponder, and Day.
Get Pavel Buchnevich off my fucking hockey team. That's how I'm going to start this discussion. The puck bobbler, the guy that cannot hold on to passes. How many passes? I'm not kidding when I say this. Pavel Buchnevich has fumbled more passes than I can count in any single game from the year. The one that killed me tonight, and I know, Bill, we talked about this before the show. The one that killed me tonight was the pass in overtime from Philip Broberg. The guy finds a hole somehow. He's draped all over by the Toronto defense, finds a hole, has a chance to shoot it on net, but thinks, I got a guy breaking right to the net. He's in the right position. I can slide him a pass, one-timer, boom, game over. Let's head to Philadelphia. What does he do? Slides it, a great pass to Buchnevich. He bobbles it, 2-on-1 the other way. The guy is, I'm sorry to say this, he's worthless. He is absolutely worthless. And I said to you before the show, Bill, strike one on Jim Montgomery for me. I am not kidding. If I'm Doug Armstrong, I'm saying, all right, I know I shouldn't fire the coach yet, but strike one, even though I'm the idiot that signed him to this contract. Why is he out there in every single situation? He should not be. He is by far the least talented forward on this roster. He is. I don't care. I don't care what he did 3 years ago. This season, I would literally take any other forward in his role on this roster. But he keeps playing every situation, every power play. There's a power play. Last thing I'll say, Bill, because I know you want to comment on this too, and then I'll add to that, I'm sure. But another play he made on the power, because you want to say, oh, well, he's a good power play player. He's got 4 power play points. Yeah, there was a play in the third period when they had their power play where Robert Thomas pinches on the wall, wins a puck battle over 2 Toronto Maple Leafs, gets it to Buchnevich. All he has to do is slide it into the corner where I think it was either Kyrou or Dvorsky that were down there, and he puts it right in a Leafs skates. Like, he tries, I don't know what he was trying to do, but instead of just sliding it along the wall, he tries to push it toward the goal with no steam on it, goes right to the Maple Leafs defenseman. He shoots it out of the zone. He is worthless. Absolutely worthless. Bill,
yes.
Please.
yes, he is. I put in, the podcast Slack Saturday night after watching the Saturday action. Delete him off this roster however you can, whether it's for a game or two. Sit him. Why does Jordan Kyrou have to sit? And Buchnevich doesn't. Buchnevich, everything he does is the exact wrong play when he gets the puck into the offensive zone. He will overthink it, try to make a pass that isn't there, like the example you gave tonight, right? 2 options, and he goes to the middle right into a Maple Leafs gate, right? He's way overthinking it. His confidence is shot, and they need to completely press the reset button on him, and he has to sit. Right? You have to play a game without him and let the team show what they can do without him there, and, start him from scratch. Let him rebuild from the 4th line up. But he should not be getting, like you talked about it, right? Tonight, the talking point for the broadcasters was, oh, he's on the line with Joseph, so it's a demotion. He had the 4th most minutes of any player on this team, because they kept putting him out there with Thomas.
Yep.
It's insane, right? His inability to, like, it seems like he's, I think I referred to Tyler Tucker as the cooler on this team earlier this year. Every time he touches the puck, the game goes against the Blues. That is what Buchnevich is now. And I am done watching the guy play. It just game in, game out. It's the same old bullshit. And he's not effective. He's actually doing more harm than good. Sit the motherfucker.
Yeah. And again, like the fact that if it was, hey, we just want to prove that this guy is still a good special teams player, let's say, he's still good on the, which I'll say his best attribute is probably his penalty killing, but also, he does play a lot of the power play. If Montgomery were to make the case, okay, yeah, well, look, he's got 4 power play points. It's clearly because I'm putting it out there every chance I get, but he has 4 power play points. Okay, but to put him out there in overtime and late situations where you need a goal, how many times have we heard, not just this season, but the last 2 seasons, oh, that's a great pass right there to Buchnevich, and he just can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
That more about him than any other player in Blues history, and I really don't think I am exaggerating when I say that. It is every game we hear that at least 2 or 3 times. Buchnevich just couldn't handle that one. Why the fuck not? You're an NHL player playing on a top line, making top line money.
Yeah, case in point, overtime tonight, Philip Broberg undresses the Toronto defense and puts one on a tee to Buchnevich, and he doesn't know what to do with it, fumbles the puck, and what happens? The puck winds up ultimately in the back of the net at the other end of the ice. Just absolute horse shit that he cannot convert on what was a great play by Broberg. Just the insanity of continually putting him out there and him not succeeding is, I don't think Armstrong is seeing, they're not going to make any move with Montgomery this year. Maybe you shake up some of the associate coaches. That's the only place I see movement. They've got 5 years, a big contract with Montgomery. Army's a big believer in him. It's not happening this year with him, but for everybody else, you got to start looking at him. And if they keep rolling this guy out there and giving him these prime opportunities that he fucks up, it's on the entire coaching staff.
Yeah, I agree. And like, okay, so I also get it too. If it's like Armstrong going to Montgomery and saying, we need to showcase this guy, like showcase him. I'm sorry, you're going to have to play him more on a top 6 role so that way we can try and trade him. You're not trading Pavel Buchnevich. I guarantee that is not happening. Like, if go ahead.
The only exit for him would be put him on waivers and let somebody take a flyer.
Oh, I wish. Oh my God. That would be a dream. I'm not even kidding. Like, lose the guy for nothing. I don't care. Like, it's the same thing I say about Yori Laterra. Like, if the Blues just put him on waivers and someone took his contract, hallelujah, whoever you are, you're my new second favorite team because you got the Blues out of a bind. Like, that's where I'm at with Buchnevich. He has got to go. And Armstrong, again, horrible contract. It starts with him. Should not have re-signed him to that deal. Horrible decision. He's done nothing but decline since his first season here. Horrible decision. But for Montgomery to continue playing him, that is a strike on Montgomery. I am looking at that, and I'm going to look back at because, we all know coaches are hired to be fired. Depending on when that happens, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now, I'm going to look back and I'm going to say, same thing I used to do with Berube. When he goes, this is going to be the first thing that I recall. Oh, he's gone. Remember when he used to play Pavel Buchnevich all the time and nobody understood why? Right there. that guy, and you said it, the guy should be not playing at all. He should be in the press box for, I said a couple weeks ago, put him in there for one game like you did for Kyrou. Now I'm like, put him in there for 10 games. Put him on waivers. Send him to the AHL. Sign Milan Lucic at this point. I don't care. Just get him off my roster. Like, this guy is detrimental. And the most annoying thing, and we saw it again to bring up Jori Lehtera, is like you said, the fact that it's not just, he's getting fourth line minutes and he's fumbling chances on the fourth line. He's still getting top line minutes. It doesn't make sense. It's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation situation. Is Pavel Buchnevich about to die? And he's like, I just want to play top 6 minutes for the St. Louis Blues for one season. Is that what's happening here? Because that's the only thing that makes sense.
That's quite the con. Because he's also getting what is it, $7 million?
Yeah, I also want to get paid $7 million.
Just God. I mean, we could do an entire therapy show on like how much damage he's done to our psyches this year, but we should probably move on.
Yeah, and I'll say with Trees here, if a team is offering a third for Booch, take it right now. If a team is offering a third for Pavel fucking Buchnevich, I will rip my dick off right now. Okay? I really will. Because I guarantee no team wants to take on that albatross contract for a third-round pick. No. At best, you're getting a sixth, which even that, I would be ecstatic.
Yeah, no, it's no team's going to make an offer for that at this point. I mean, it's the money situation, unless you have, the Arizona Coyotes situation where you gotta, do whatever you can to get to the floor. It's not happening. So
okay, so you said we should move on, but I have one more question regarding Pavel Buchnevich. We've talked about it on this show. We've done this show actually as long as Doug Armstrong's been the official GM of the Blues. So we've talked about all the contracts he signed. I think this might trump Jori Lehtera. Maybe not right now, but in 2 years when this lump of shit is still on the roster, this might be the worst contract in Doug Armstrong's tenure. And that is, again, I think he's done some great stuff, but that is saying a lot with some of the awful contracts he's had. What are your thoughts? Are we at that level yet? Or
I don't think anything. Well, I think if we have to go 3 years into this contract with him underperforming all 3 of those years, I'll agree with that. But Lehtera had to have been the worst, right? It like just the timing of it, mid-season, and as soon as he signed it, he fell apart. So it's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's going to take time. It's going to take time for it to play out.
So you agree that it's at least a conversation at this point, though?
It's definitely there. With as poor as the player is performing right now.
For me, it's the what. Okay, I look at what's the. Yeah, I see that. What's the redeeming quality here for Buchnevich versus Lehtera? Lehtera, slow as all molasses. Not a great shooter. He was an excellent passer. Buchnevich, penalty kill, I guess, is the redeeming quality.
Mm-hmm.
So which would you rather have, a good passer or a good penalty killer on a bad penalty kill team? I don't know. I'm just saying by the end of this contract, by the time the Blues can maybe unload it, I think this might be the worst contract in Armstrong's tenure. But only time will tell.
Right. It's got to be one of the worst contracts in the NHL right now.
Oh, yeah. 100%. This is Matt Bolesky in Boston level contract. Let's see. Trees is an English graduate. I appreciate this joke. Had the game on mute while I watched the tragedy of Macbeth. Vibes seemed very off. Yes, a little bit. Divide by 0. I didn't have time to see the game. I'm guessing no bueno. They lost in overtime. And again, as I said at the top of the show, I liked a lot of their game tonight. But Pavel Buchnevich, that chance in overtime, I lost my mind. I jumped. That's the most angry I've been in a while, to be honest. And okay.
So
the last
there's
time
that.
I was this angry was last season when Pavel Buchnevich sailed the puck over the goal in Game 7. That's the last time I was this mad.
Right. That destroyed him, right? He was decent in the playoffs last year, but now like it's completely destroyed him as a player. However, there is blame to share. And unfortunately, Dylan Holloway looked awful in overtime as well.
Yep.
The fact that the Blues had 3 guys on John Tavares and didn't come away with the puck for the game winner, right? That was disgusting. And Dylan Holloway was behind the play, standing flat-footed, and gave himself not enough opportunity to be level with the play, be able to get out there and cut off the pass coming across. World-class move by Willie Nylander. Unbelievable goal. Hey, he's on my fantasy team. That's a GWG for me. I like it, but that can't happen. You cannot get outworked by one guy, 3-1, right? It's cannot happen. Holloway also had a turnover in overtime that brought the puck back the other way. A whiff on a shot, right?
Oh, that was bad.
It was bad. So as good as he is started to look, is there anyone on this team who is actually executing consistently? The closest guy tonight would have been Walker. And for the longest time of this game, he had 1 goal on 0 shots.
Yes, that was awesome. By the way,
God,
yeah, and I'll say all season the only one who's been consistent for me is Pius Suter. There's been other guys that, they've had some nice stretches. I guess Jake Neighbours, you could say, in his short stint here before he got hurt. But overall, there's been no consistency. Robert Thomas has taken full games off. Like I've literally not noticed him in games. And I'm like, you are the number 1 center on a team that supposedly has plenty of snipers. So how are you not noticeable out there? I think he was fine tonight, but I'm just saying, like, the consistency on some of these players, unreal how bad they've been this year. And again, I'll say, I know I bitched about Montgomery, but for me, it's like, this is definitely on the players. These guys are not performing at a high level. They're still looking like this is preseason, and the rest of the league is like, we're ready to go. Like, we got a shortened season, or not a shortened season, a condensed schedule season, and then Olympics, and then more condensed schedule. So we're already in like December mode across the league, and I feel like the Blues are still, it's September, it's throwaway games. Like it's awful. It's just awful to watch.
Yeah. So hold on, we have a situation in Dallas. It appeared that the Stars had tied the game, and they are shorthanded. But a goaltender interference call was upheld, and
that happened.
Stars get a goal wiped off the board.
I didn't know that even happened.
And David Riddick is still playing in the NHL for the New York Islanders, wearing his bench boss's number.
Nice. I'm sure somebody was saying that about Sammy Blais tonight. Oh, that guy's still in the NHL?
Oh yeah. Thank God.
And he made a hell of a pass on their on the goal that what's his face scored. Lorenz.
Yeah.
Steven Lorenz. Yeah. It was a great pass by him. But yeah, there are a couple guys on that Maple Leafs team that it's like they're still in the league. And I know it's partially because they've got so many injuries, but like Sammy Blais, Oliver Ekman Larson, they both got assists on Lorenz's goal. And I'm like, are they becoming the team of, oh, that guy's still around, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. There are quite a few of those.
Well, I didn't
around the
realize
league.
this. Quick fact: I'm looking at the NHL score sheet right now. They're almost at soccer level, Bill. On Nathan Walker's goal, they do have it listed as an own goal.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen them list that out before, so that's got to be new. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I mean that's Vitaly was talking on the broadcast about how in soccer they would call that an own goal, but not in hockey. Well, apparently that has changed now. I don't know. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, we will. Divide by 0, and this is on Buchnevich. Why can't he be buried in the AHL? He would pass waivers, recoup the $1 million. I believe the rule changed now because of the whole, like back in the day with Wade Redden and the Senate, or is it the Rangers? I think. I don't think you can just bury a player in the AHL. You can send him there, but I think his cap hit still counts against your cap. So, but still, I would be more than happy to just take that money and literally flush it down the toilet than have Pavel Buchnevich on this team. So, yes, I agree. Put him through waivers. And hey, like we said earlier, if someone takes him, thank you. You are fantastic, whoever you are. Joe Schmo, Thomas is underperforming massively, yet still playing with a milestone around his left wing. Come the F on, Monty. Yeah, millstone. I said milestone. Sorry, millstone around his left wing. Yeah, I just don't get it. There's definitely some issues with roster makeup right now that I will just never understand.
We have one of the most, English major heavy chats in all of hockey podcastdom.
Yes, we do. And the English graduate can't read properly, apparently.
It's okay. You didn't write it. You just misread it.
That's true.
We won't hold that against your learning.
Yeah, all right. Let's talk about some positives. So again, we mentioned that after the Dvorsky goal, the Blues really seemed to turn it on, took it to him in the third. Let's talk about the Dvorsky goal. So 3 of his goals now have come on the power play, all pretty similar. The second one was the one that went off the skate. Was that Seattle, I think? Yeah, Seattle. So it wasn't a shot. He was trying to pass it to Snuggerud in front. But all 3 have come on the power play. All 3 have come from the circle. As the first one and the third tonight were one-time blasts that just beat the goalie. I am loving this kid. And the fact that and I'll, as much as I want to give Montgomery trouble for some of the stuff he's done, I do love that he is embracing putting him on that first unit because he knows the kid's a shooter. And Robert Thomas, if those two can continue to find chemistry, I don't care. At this point in the season, you're losing a ton. Put those two together. Put them on the same line. See what they can do. Because that seam pass he made across to Dvorsky and then just the bomb from the dot, beautiful stuff. I want to see more of that all season.
100%. I mean, I was thinking, when the Dvorsky goal went in, like Mellenby's on the bench, for the Leafs thinking, why didn't you get me a guy like this? Right. Well, he did have Tarasenko, but he wasn't a one-time artist. Right.
Yeah.
And, he had that great snipe, but not a one-timer. And that is a part of his game I wasn't expecting. I mean, Dvorsky at this point's got to stay here, right? He's one of the top faceoff guys. So you can put him out there, double him with Thomas in case Thomas gets tossed. Now you've got, a backup. But I love that idea of playing Thomas with not Buchnevich and Snuggerud, but Snuggerud and Dvorsky. Give it a try for a few games. They tried Holloway tonight, and it looked like it was okay, right? But whatever chemistry that Shen and Kyer and Holloway had last year, that's gone. So let's not force that. There's been just no real apparent chemistry on anything but the fourth line. And they're messing with that so much. Like Bukestad was sad again, right? He wasn't in the lineup tonight, right? So I don't know. They're preferring Sundqvist over him right now. I take it. I just go with your best offensive guys, right? Those are three guys with elite talent, and it probably with Neighbours coming back, we're not going to get to see it because he's going to slot right up there.
Yep. Yeah, I don't get it. It's clear it's not working, but they keep going back to it. And not to continue harping about Buchnevich, it's just you see coaches want to mix and match as much as possible. And like we saw the lines coming into tonight, Buchnevich on the third line, and it was like, oh, okay, like this could work. Let's see. And like you said, Holloway on the top line with Snuggerud. Okay, this is great. But by the end of the game, Buchnevich is right back on the top line with Thomas. And it's just, it's the definition of insanity. It's, why do you think anything is going to change from what we've seen already all season? It's not just a small sample size anymore. Pavel Buchnevich is not worthy of NHL ice. And the fact that you want to play him at all, to me, is ridiculous. But to continue to thrust him out there on the top line when you've got young, hungry guys like Dvorsky, like Holloway, which, he didn't have the best game tonight, but I still prefer him way over Buchnevich. Like, why these guys are not getting the ice time they deserve compared to a Pavel Buchnevich, who has been nothing short of a pylon piece of shit cone. I don't get it. I just doesn't make sense. And again, other coaches love the mixing and matching and trying new things. I feel like Montgomery just keeps going back to the well, and it just doesn't make sense.
Yep, maybe it'll work this time.
Yeah. Oh, well, we took him off that line for about 7 minutes and, about 3 shifts. So, yeah, we'll put him back there now and see what he does. That's not enough time. Like, I'm sorry. Buchnevich is just going home and counting his paycheck, Like, there's no to keep rolling him out there. I think something's going to change. It's the same thing with goalies. How often do we see Jake Allen? Jake Allen would be awful every year. We called it Jakuary. And so the Blues literally at one point didn't even bring him on a road trip. And he came back in that final game and played great. Do the same thing with Buchnevich. Stop putting him out there on the top line and expecting something to change. Anyway, didn't mean to get right back into Buchnevich. It just doesn't make sense. So again, I thought the Blues looked very good after the Dvorsky goal. They looked like, for a brief period, and we've seen glimpses, I think, throughout the season, but I think this was the longest stretch. That team that we saw at the end of last season after the Dvorsky goal, they were really pressing. It wasn't just the fourth line. The Thomas line looked great. The Suter line looked great. And they were hemming guys into the zone. I mean, we saw the Michelli penalty where he literally was just like, F this, just shot it over the glass and took the penalty because they were just getting swarmed by the Blues, and the defense was pinching at the right points. Broberg, I thought, played very well in this game. I thought Parayko had one of his better games of the season as well. And I thought, man, this team, they just, and Falk looked rejuvenated with his 1,000th game, I thought. And so I thought really overall the Blues played pretty well in this game. They just couldn't get that goal in the third, but again, did you realize they didn't even have a shot on goal in overtime?
Come to think about it, yeah. The two whiffs that we've already referenced, Buchnevich and Holloway, right? Prime opportunities, didn't get the shot off. I mean, you want them shooting when they have, a good opportunity. It's, you don't throw the puck away in overtime, but our two prime opportunities just, were dead because of lack of execution by two of our, supposedly top players.
Yep. So that overtime goal, let's talk about it. William Nylander. Now, I will say, to give props when props due. That was a hell of a move by Nylander.
Yeah,
I mean,
world class,
100%. And I don't blame Binnington one bit on that. I mean, he did bite on the first deke he made on him when he got close, but Bill, I don't know any goalie in the league that wouldn't have bit on that. I mean, that was a great move.
Right, especially when you realize that, one guy just beat 3 of yours, and you're going to come out, you're going to challenge, you're going to do what you can. And yeah, I mean, that's just one of those, like, guys got the best, some of the best hands in the world to be able to pull off that move, get behind, get down below the goal line, and still get the puck back out in front. Right, nothing any mortal goalie could do on that play.
I forgot I got a mute button. Yes, did that mute, or did you hear that?
No, I did not hear that, but I saw that.
Yeah, I got a mute button. Yeah,
I
love that.
I read lips.
There you go. Yeah, and I got to tell you, Bill, I mean, I know you've played out a little. I've tried that tuck move, like, when I'm just kind of dicking around with goalies, and like, I have never, I mean, I think I have probably pulled it off like once or twice, but like, to do it in real time is so difficult because you've got to be able to have the discipline to wait out the goalie. And then once you do, like you said, you're already behind the goal line to kind of sneak back and then just kind of tuck it in as your momentum's still going forward. That is so hard to do, like to be able to angle your body to be able to do that. And again, just the patience to pull that off. Props to Nylander. I mean, the play before, yes, I agree, was terrible. But yeah, okay. Well, here's the thing I'll say about the play before too. When it happened, when there was 3 Blues on Tavares, because the Maple Leafs were changing, I actually didn't mind it because I thought, okay, at worst, the puck is going to get, he'll kick it back, out of the zone, and then the Blues have to wait for him to, or the Maple Leafs have to wait for him to get back on side. But when it took longer than it should have to dig that puck out, at least one of those players, who was out there? Was it Thomas, Kyrou, and...
No, it was Thomas, Holloway, and Broberg, I think.
Broberg, yeah. One of those guys should have had the presence of mind to say, okay, clearly there's going to be someone open here in a minute. We need to peel off and at least, like, cover the middle of the ice or something. And they didn't do it quick enough.
Right. Holloway, like I said before, he stood behind the play and he let himself get flat-footed. If he is parallel to the play or even up above, to cut off the kick back to the slot, which is, if you have defensive awareness in that situation, that is Tavares's best option. Cut that option off, right? If somehow Tavares can hold those guys off long enough for Nylander, or I forget who it was that made the pass over to him, to get below them so that Tavares can kick it down along the boards, that's, like, he's superhuman with that kind of strength to be able to hold it. But Holloway he got on the wrong side, stayed on the wrong side, and just his speed wasn't enough to make up the gap. And yeah,
it was Riley that made the pass, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, we talked about it was a world-class move by Nylander. Holloway's quick, but he's not in that situation. Didn't have what we needed to prevent that from going in. I thought terrible, like, presence of mind in that situation.
So like I said, I think when it first happened and there was 3 on him, my thought was, good, get the puck, and then you guys have time to, work it around, get a line change, whatever you need to do. But when it went on for longer than about it sounds like a short amount of time, but in hockey, it's an eternity. When it went longer than about 2 seconds, it should have been, you're right, it should have been Holloway. Should have said, I need to peel back because they've made their change. These guys are sprinting in now probably. I need to go back and make sure that there's not just going to be a pass to the slot and a guy's going to be wide open. Mm-hmm. Like, at first I was okay with it, but when it took forever, I'm like, okay, why are they not ready to cover somebody else? And that's exactly what happened. And again, world-class move by Nylander. If he gets the puck there and then he just shoots like a one-timer, you can trust your goalie's probably going to make that save. But not when it's overtime, and the Maple Leafs are definitely going to be peddling out a Nylander, especially when they don't have Nyes or Matthews in the lineup. So, yeah, just a horrible decision by the Blues, and I hope that is some game tape that this team watches. And for those who don't know or aren't paying attention, the Blues are now basically 0-5 in overtime and shootout. Not good. I mean, yes, you're still getting a point. And I will say this is one of those games, because it was a very entertaining game, where I was like, okay, well, it's good they went to overtime and got a point. And again, it's an Eastern Conference team. The fact that they got a point, that doesn't bother me. But it was also that you need to walk out of that either with 2 points or a better effort in overtime. And I just feel like that the 2 fumbles we talked about, and then that play at the end, not acceptable. That is game tape this team needs to watch and have drilled into their head over and over.
Yeah, it's good teams find ways to salvage the extra point in overtime, and this isn't one of those teams.
Nope. Before we move on to other games, I had one more question for you, Bill. Your thoughts on Binnington's play tonight?
Solid. He gave a performance that's worthy of the extra point. Always a big game for him, and going back home to Toronto, the GTO. But I liked his game after some really, really atrocious defensive games here in St. Louis over the weekend. He looked solid. He looked like the normal, calm guy that we expect.
Yep. Any more on this game from you?
No. I'm done thinking about this piece of shit that we watched tonight.
Yes, I am with you 100%. All right, so 2 other games on the docket that fell in this little span of time since our last show. We'll go over these very quickly. Okay, let me ask you before we get into that. So I said on the Let's Go Blues Minute this morning, smash that subscribe button, that I didn't. Yes, they did not play well against the Golden Knights. But I feel like I didn't hate that loss. It was the second of a back-to-back. The Golden Knights were hungry. They played well. To me, and then again, also the fact that they went 0-1-1 on the weekend. I'm like, if you look at that in a nutshell, okay, what happened? Oh, the Blues went 0-1-1 at home against the Flyers and the Golden Knights. I'm probably not pissed if I don't know what happened in the game. Like, oh, okay, well, hey, they got a point out of 4. That's fine. But to me, the Golden Knights' loss was compounded because of what they did on Friday. Like, if they would have held on like they should have with 2 separate 2-goal leads and 3 total leads, then I'm probably not, like, I'm really okay with the Saturday loss. Like, okay, well, you were 1-1 over the weekend. That's fine. But the fact that they blew, and again, the mantra of this team from last season, not able to hold leads. They blew 2 2-goal leads against the Flyers, who, yes, they've played pretty well this season, but they're still kind of bottom of the barrel of their division, and they could not hold those leads. That made me say, well, then you got to win against the Golden Knights if you're going to lose that game in overtime or the shootout. And they didn't. So to me, it's like, in a nutshell, you look at 0-1-1, okay. How they did it, I'm pissed. That was not good hockey.
Yeah, dropping the 2-goal leads to the Flyers, that's completely unacceptable. I thought there was really good energy in the game. I loved that. Just the excitement that Hunter Skinner getting in his first game brought. I
Yes.
thought, that there was some additional emotion there, and I thought Hunter Skinner was fine. He I think end of the night he had less than 10 minutes. Give him a little more ice time, but he definitely wasn't the problem in this game. Just the team just collapsed at the wrong time defensively. I thought I actually liked what I saw of him, and saw, with that combination of Kessel and him. But you come back the next night and Tyler Tucker's right back in there, and Tyler Tucker and uh, Kessel together are just bad.
Yeah,
And
not good.
what wound up being the opening goal in the Vegas game, that was a just horrendous turnover by those two. And Saad just walks right down the middle, and goes low. That's the knock on Hofer. Go low stick side, or low glove side along the ice early in the game. You're probably going to score, and that's what happened.
Yep.
And I'm not knocking Hofer. I thought Hofer had a pretty decent game in this game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But just do something different, other than we're going to force Tyler Tucker out there every goddamn night. And I was hoping to see him back in there, because, they were bad again. So let Hunter Skinner get another game. Nope, not going to do it.
Yeah, I don't. Again, insanity. It's literally insanity to me, because Tyler Tucker has not been good.
No.
I think it was a tough luck penalty he had tonight on the high stick. Like, that kind of stuff's going to happen when you're aggressive. But at the same time, he got beat, which led to that penalty. And he's not looked good this season. You mentioned it. I think Kessel has looked a tick better than him.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've liked his game over the last 2 weeks, except for that egregious turnover to Saad.
Yes,
Or,
that was bad.
It wasn't to Saad. It was to somebody who found Saad wide open in the slot.
Yep. Yeah, that was bad. But no, I don't get it. I mean, you called up Hunter Skinner, +1, 4 hits in 10 minutes and 45 seconds of ice time against the Flyers, and in the next 2 games he doesn't play, and you lose both those games. Not that they won with him in the lineup, but still didn't play bad enough to be like. And I get the back-to-back. Like, we'll play him in one of the games of the back-to-back. He should have come right back into me tonight against Toronto, especially a Toronto team that is really struggling right now. So you might as well let the kid get some more reps in. But instead, they go right back to Tucker and Kessel, which has not worked all season. But they keep insanity. It doesn't make sense to me.
Right. You give an opportunity to, for some of his other family and friends to come watch him play, short drive up the 401 from Detroit to Toronto. Right. I was shocked I shouldn't say shocked. I was disappointed when I found out he wasn't in the lineup tonight, but not shocked, because the Blues make terrible personnel decisions this year.
I just don't get it. Is that who's at fault? Because whoever that is might need to be looked at if they're doing their job. Is it Montgomery? Is it Armstrong? Is it Ott? I don't know. Like,
for the defensive side of it, it's got to be Mike Weber, right?
Weber, yeah, maybe. Or maybe it is Armstrong, or maybe it is Montgomery saying, I want this defensive pairing tonight. But Tyler, I'm sorry. I said it a couple weeks ago, and I'll say it again. Get Tucker out of here. Get him on waivers, and if he's gone, he's gone. It's not a major loss. How this guy has found his way into being an everyday defenseman, I will never understand. I don't think he's bad, but he's definitely not good.
He's much worse without the presence of Ryan Suter, right? If you're gonna roll him out there, fire Mike Weber, bring in Ryan Suter as your assistant coach, right? Ryan Suter is the Tyler Tucker whisperer.
At this point, Bill, I'm not just exaggerating and being ridiculous. I would sign Ryan Suter to a contract and send either Kessel, Skinner, or Tucker down. Like, I prefer him over all. Nothing against Skinner. We haven't seen him enough. But I would prefer a Ryan Suter who has not played since May over that last pairing the Blues have. They've been that bad.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's bad. Don't get it. Trevor Zegras, 3 points in this game, got the shootout winner. I was going to ask you about the well, I don't know if you saw what he said after the game.
I did not.
He said so he had the, which again, was that the one that was Buchnevich's fault again, where he turned the puck over and then Zegras, because he pulled him down, and so again, more Pavel Buchnevich love. But Zegras comes in, makes that kind of a similar move he made in the shootout, and then gets stopped by Binnington, and then he pulls a similar move in the shootout and scores. And he said, "Yeah, I've never actually faced him one-on-one, and I know he's a heck of a goalie." So I'm kind of paraphrasing, and he's like, "So I wanted to make the same move and then just do something slightly different to throw him off in the shootout." And that's exactly what he did. He made a very similar move, came in slow, went backhand, forehand, and it was just a very similar move, but you could tell there was just a slight difference that I think threw Binnington off.
Yeah, opened him wide
Yep.
open, right? And that's atypical. It's the penalty shot in overtime, right? That you don't see that, and Binnington prevailed. I'm like, all right, boys, there's your motivation to go get the extra point. And we didn't even hit the damn net.
Yep.
In our opportunities. It was, just embarrassing.
Last thing I'll say about Hunter Skinner in this in the game against Philadelphia, I loved his dad. Did you see the interview with his dad and his parents?
Couldn't stop the tears, and
there is
the
nothing. And I've said this before, and I've actually said this like in job interviews, like when I talk about like just hockey culture, like for me, like the relationship between the kids and the parents. And I know, Bill, you'll agree with this, that it just seems like in hockey more than other sports, and it's because we have these crazy 5 a.m. practices as kids, and the late nights at the hockey rink. Oh, we didn't even leave the rink till 10:30 at night. Like the relationships between kids and their parents in hockey is just something that I just cherish, and I just love when we hear about it. And like, and I think Chris Kerber even mentioned on the show tonight, like that he's talked to like Joseph Wool's parents about it, and just when they finally see their kid make it, and it goes back to the Stompin' Tom Connor song, Hockey Moms, or Hockey Mom, which is a great song if you haven't heard it, by the way. And it's like no one's happier for the kid making the NHL than the parents, like even happier than the kid, and it's just like seeing his dad just absolutely lose it on camera and trying to talk to Andy Strickland. I was just like, oh my God, this dad, that is like dad goals right there. Like I loved seeing it. And I was just, and in that moment, I remember just thinking like, I'm happy for Hunter Skinner. Don't get me wrong. I am more happy for Steve Skinner. Like that guy is like in jubilation right now. Like he'll be on his deathbed, and this will be one of the last things that he remembers. Like I just love moments like that.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely beautiful. Just not that I was ever anywhere close to going professional, but I know that was my dad's dream for me. And, my dad did live a little vicariously through me for a long time.
Mine too.
But he lost him last year. But his mind slipped the last few years, but every time we would get together and have long conversations, it always went back to the early mornings driving out to Creve Court and Queenie Park, getting up at 6 a.m. He used to wake us up playing the Taps, put it on his record player and blare it. And my mom and sister still like could never get over that and still hate it to this day. But that he thought he was funny and he loved doing that. Like just knowing that relationship and uh, the money, the time, the love that the parents put into it. It's just, it's one of the most beautiful things when you get to see that realized. And it's like, somebody show this damn video to Montgomery and Weber and get this guy back in the lineup.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
So,
yeah. And I'll say too, same for me. Like my dad, I didn't play at a super high level. I played high school, and I remember my first high school game. My dad driving me to the rink, and that was like, my dad and I did not really share emotions too much. We were both kind of, it was just kind of like an understanding, oh yeah, we love each other, kind of thing. But, I remember him driving me to the rink that first game and saying, I don't care how you play. I am so proud that you have worked your way to this level. And that memory will always be with me. So, again, just like thinking about how compounded that is with NHL players, him probably talking to his son before the game and just being like,
right.
you made it. You did it. Like all that hard work, all the work the whole family's put in.
Right.
Like,
And talking
here.
about how, he's over 200 professional games. He's been in the ECHL, right? They talked about it in the broadcast, the playing to mostly empty arenas, right? You persevere, and for the Skinners to get to see that is just, that to me, that's been like the best story about this team so far this year.
Yep. And we saw it for one game, and we may never see it again. So, we mentioned Saturday, the Golden Knights, real quick. Just a fun little weird note that happened in this game, if you missed it. The NHL announced prior to the game that linesman Brad Kovacic was unavailable due to injury. The game was handled by 3 officials. Now, in the past, I've seen this happen where typically one of the refs has worked as a linesman before.
Mm-hmm.
So the ref will switch to being more of a linesman, and then they'll go with one ref, which is, for those that are maybe new to the game, pulling a Joey Vitale here. If you're new to the game, that is how we used to do it back in the day, with one ref and two linesmen. But I guess the referees didn't have any linesman experience, which is odd. So they ran with 2 referees and 1 linesman. And I'm like, that is weird. Now, I think Kerber did say that the referees were helping out with offsides and that kind of thing, but they were still basically 2 referees and 1 linesman. I just thought that was interesting. I don't know if I've ever actually seen that in an NHL game before.
Yeah. No, they at least feigned trying, but there were definitely a couple of plays where, like, icing is like, no, we're going to defer to the other guy that's at the other end of the ice because he doesn't have one of these orange stripes at his arm. It was interesting. And they still managed to get in the way of a bunch of plays. So
yeah, of course they did.
that's to me, that's the part that's just always like, wow.
Yeah.
How does that continue to happen?
I mean, I'll say, I've reffed my fair share of games, and I've even reffed some like some beer league games, and sometimes it is inevitable. Like, the puck comes at you so fast you can't react. But yeah, with the officials in the NHL, like, come on, you're seasoned enough. Get the hell out of the way. What are you watching there? What do you got? It looks like a fight or something.
Yeah, the Hawks and the Flames, and Bedard just got an empty net goal for a hat trick. Ensuing face-off, puck's back in the Hawks zone. Connor Murphy goes to clear the puck, goes down to one knee to clear it, and fucking Klapka, 6'7", 295, checks him.
Oh, God.
Leads, like, gets him like elbow, because Murphy's down on one knee, like full weight into his head, into the dasher board, and chaos ensues. Closest thing to a line brawl this year.
That is a big man. Would you see the Jonathan Quick thing the other night?
No, I did not see it.
Oh, so I guess so. Who are they facing? Was it
the Red Wings, wasn't it? Because they played.
Yes.
Was it
yes.
Both of them wore their colored jerseys. Red,
yes,
blue.
which NHL, please, why don't you do that more often?
Right. No white on white, but
that
color on
is
color.
so awesome when it's when it's like red on blue or green on red. Like, give me that all day. Like, I think that is so cool. But anyway, so I remember who it was. Somebody came down. Game was over. The buzzer went, and then as the buzzer went, the Red Wings shot it into the empty net. Nobody around, and I guess Quick did not like that. He did not like that he shot it into the empty net after the buzzer. So he came out and took a swing at him, and it kind of started because everybody was on the ice. You know, the Red Wings were all getting ready to celebrate, and the Rangers were getting ready to leave, and so they all jumped on the ice, and it wasn't like fully a line brawl, but it definitely got pretty heated. So it was pretty interesting to see.
I will have to go find tape of that.
Yep. All right. So yeah, in this game, Brandon Saad, you mentioned, scored in his return to St. Louis. I thought it was interesting. There was no tribute video, and that's always kind of a funny thing to talk about with players because they definitely overdo the tribute videos. I'm not talking about the Blues. I'm talking about the NHL as a whole. Like, I want to say David Backes got a tribute video in Boston, and it's just like, what are you doing? No, he wasn't there long enough. He didn't make enough big of an impact. What are you doing? But they did. It was just kind of funny to hear, and I have to wonder because again, we've seen teams. Nico Mikkola got a tribute video in St. Louis, but with Brandon Saad, who was here for a while, he was skating away after he was going to the bench after a shift. And we just hear over the loudspeaker, Tom Calhoun, friend of the show, go, "Fans, welcome back, left winger Brandon Saad." And he just kind of standing at the bench and waves, and that was it.
That's talking about me. No, to me that's all it deserves most of the time, right?
I agree. But I just thought it was funny because literally Nico Mikkola got a tribute video, and he was here for probably under 100 games, I would think. And I just think that's funny because I'm like, I wonder if it has anything to do with the way the relationship ended. Like if somebody in management told the in-game staff, "Hey, no video for Brandon Saad. We terminated his contract. We are not doing that."
Yeah,
but I agree with you. I think normally that's all you need to do.
Yeah, I didn't think there was that much animosity when he left. It was like, you know what, you're not doing a lot here. If you can go find some work elsewhere, go do it. We want to start giving some of these youngsters more time. And oh hey, look, Oscar Sundqvist out there every fucking night. I think we're both on the same page with that. Unless it's if they, I'm glad we haven't got to the point that every time Vladimir Tarasenko comes to town on a new team, because he's on his 6th team now, right?
Something after like that, yeah.
That it's like we don't even acknowledge you. Detroit, Boston, Florida. Detroit, Florida, Ottawa, Minnesota.
Oh, that's right. He was on Ottawa. So yeah, he's on 6th team. Yeah, you're right. 6th team. So, man, that's crazy. Yeah. It feels like he was just here. He's already been on 6 teams now. All right. Any more on any of the games to talk about?
No. This weekend was the season is starting to get on my nerves. This is always the time of year that you worry about them just hitting a lull, but we never got started. So no. Having that lull just tells me, Jeremy Rutherford is right. This is a bad team. Except one difference between us and JR, we're not Pavel Buchnevich apologists, and we're not going to defend him being in the lineup night in, night out.
Nope, not at all. I agree with that. And we love JR on this show. He's
friend of the show.
Actual friend of the show. Like
very
somebody
much
that
so.
Yeah, he's done an excellent work when he comes on and talks about the Blues with us. But yeah, I'm with you 100%. When I saw his article, literally, I think it's called the Blues are a bad team. And if you haven't read it, it's great, except for when he talks about Buchnevich. And we're like, I read that, and I'm like, oh, JR, come on, no. But whatever. Maybe he sees it differently. I just cannot agree with that. All right, let's talk about Milan Lucic update. So he's now played 3 games for the Springfield Thunderbirds. He has 1 assist. He's a -6 with 6 penalty minutes and 1 shot on goal. I will add, as bad as the Blues are this season, the Thunderbirds are worse. They are 2-10, 1-1 on the season. They have a -16 goal differential. In those 3 games Lucic has played, they're 1-2. They've also been outscored 14-8 in those games, and they are dead last in the standings in the NHL. So I don't want to completely.
The AHL.
I'm sorry, AHL. Yes. I don't want to completely dismiss Lucic and just be like, oh, he's clearly not doing anything at the AHL level. Why would the Blues want him? The Thunderbirds are awful. So I don't really want to judge anything. I just hope that if the Blues are going to bring him up and sign him, I hope they're doing their homework and kind of looking more at the analytical part of the game as opposed to, well, yeah, he's done great because he's old and he's an NHL veteran. Let's call him up and see what happens. I don't want to speak for it at all. I just know the stats don't look good, but the Thunderbirds are terrible. So it's kind of hard to judge them on stats.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of calling him up at this point is just, it wouldn't make any sense because the obvious guy to go back down is Dvorsky, and it's, you don't make that trade-off ever at this point. Maybe in, Lucic's prime, or, even as he started sliding downhill. But at this point, no way in hell, right? The Thunderbirds are, they are having to learn a lot this year. Not, their expected starting goalie got claimed off waivers, and so that it's not the tandem that we expected or that they expected. I don't want to say we, because I don't ever watch any of their games.
Yeah,
I hardly follow them. But yeah, I mean, it's a young group down there. That is just, they're going to get lots of learning experiences this year. So yeah, if we have a super bad rash of injuries, that's the only time I want to see Lucic get called up.
Yep, I agree. Well, I think we do have our comment of the show.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
This comes from our friend Trees over in YouTube. He says, this season is the team trying to learn stick shift. I'm sorry, the teen trying to learn stick shift. The car keeps dying and everyone is frustrated. I tried to learn stick shift once and it was awful. So I understand that reference. I feel like Captain America. I get that reference. All right. Next up,
so wait, have you never learned to drive stick?
I have not.
Oh
have you?
My goodness! Oh, I drove stick for up until I was 30. I think that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, several of my vehicles were stick shift, but they're harder to come by. I will say, when I was in California, one of the guys who friend of the family who drove out, it's probably been 15 years. Like, probably the last time I got into a car that had a stick shift was probably when I traded my last one in, and this guy had one, and it was 4 on the floor. It was wild, totally different.
I've always said that I want to get, my dream car is a Corvette. 67 Stingray is the way to go for me, but any Corvette I'd be happy with. And I always said I will never get an automatic. At that point, if I ever do get to a point where I can get a car like that, I will get a stick shift. So yes, I do need to learn that at some point. But yeah, I had a friend when I was younger try to teach me, and I just kept what's it called when you're like between gears and it
grinding.
Yeah, I kept grinding it, and he's finally was like, dude, you're going to destroy my car. We got to stop. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But one day I do plan to learn.
Yeah, it's yeah, my ultimate like retire and go fishing all the time vehicle would be a Toyota FJ40 from the mid 70s, and those were only available to my knowledge in 404.
Stick shift.
Love
Yeah.
it.
D Brown SS, my first stick shift was an 02 SS Camaro. Bought the car and said, I'll figure it out. And I did. Good for you. I am not that courageous. If I buy a car, I'm like, I need to be able to drive it right away. So yeah, not for me. But one day I will learn it. Next up for the Blues, Thursday, November 20th, they will play in Philadelphia at 6 o'clock. I'm sure there will be no lineup changes. Tyler Tucker, Matthew Kessel will both be back on the last pairing, and Pavel Buchnevich will be the ice time leader. Saturday, November 22nd, the Islanders host the Blues in, where are they at now? Elmer, New York?
No, it's
I
it's the racetrack, right? They built the
Yeah.
racetrack stadium.
Yep. I can't think of the name, but I always want to say Nassau, but that's not it. They play at 2:30. And also, again, keep in mind, if you are not doing anything on Saturday, you still can watch the Blues game. If you come to the Stanley Ponder Cup Memorial Tournament, we start at 11 o'clock and we go till about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Come and have a beer with us. After I lose the tournament, which is inevitable, I always end up sticking around till about 1 or 2 a.m. drinking beer. So I encourage you to come and do the same. So we'll be having fun. Please come check it out. Again, lots of cool raffles. Go to dropinstl.com, go to the navigation, SPMCT tournament, and check out all the fun stuff we're going to be doing. Monday, November 24th, they'll be in the Big Apple playing the Rangers at 6 o'clock. And then Wednesday, Skanksgiving, as it's known, the night before Thanksgiving, they will play the New Jersey Devils at 6 o'clock in New Jersey, and that will wrap the 5-game road trip. Bill, one thing I want to talk about, and we can make this one quick. We call them around the NHL rapid fire tidbits, but it's more around the OHL. For those who haven't seen it, I saw it because Jeff Merrick retweeted it and or reposted, whatever they call it on X now, re-X'd it. Scott Wheeler posted this, and it was bad. And if you don't have a strong stomach, I don't recommend watching it. There was a dirty play in the OHL on Saturday. Luke Drazus not going to work here anymore.
Yeah, the way it's pronounced in in the play-by-play is Dragusika.
Okay. He slashed Brady Blasig across the face, and it's as bad as it sounds. Blasig bled all over the ice, and then as Blasig, and I will say, and a lot of people made a big deal about the cross-check after, it was, so he cross-check, or he slashes him across the face behind the net, and then after the player went down, Blasig went down, Dragusika does give him an extra shove as he's on the ice. The only thing I'll say about that, yes, it was bad, but I'll say that I think it was kind of a, oh, you're okay, get up. Like maybe he didn't realize what he did. I'm not trying to defend it all what he did. The slash was awful. It was awful. And he deserves to never play hockey again, if you ask me. But for people really harping on the cross-check after, I'm not as upset about that. I'm just like, what are you doing? Get a handle of your stick. Whether you meant it intentionally or not, you should never play hockey again professionally.
Yeah, no, that the play leading up to it, there were two, I think it was the Ottawa 67s for the team that Blasik plays for. Two guys go in on Dragusika for a hit, and that they almost, it seems like they collided more. But Dragusika goes into the boards kind of heavy, and Blasik's skating around the opposite side, and it's premeditated, right? It's Marty McSorley on Donald Brashear. level of stick swinging to the face. And you see, like, you can see from the angle, like, he changes it to maximize the impact, right? With the velocity or the momentum of the stick right into the side of the face. And I want to say, like, nobody knows but him, what was going through his mind. But I think the cross check would have been more violent, but it started to come to him what he just did. And so he let up a little bit. But yeah, I agree. This kid needs the rest of the year off at minimum, right?
Minimum.
And yeah, teams should totally knock him down to the bottom of the draft order, because the violent nature of it, just, it's not what we need in hockey. And it did make me sick when I saw it.
The OHL did announce that Dragusika was suspended pending review as a result of his actions, which apparently was a match penalty for slashing. So yeah, and he plays for Brampton. So it does sound like, if they're going to suspend a guy pending review, that usually means a long time. But yes, I'm with you. At the least, he's got to be out the rest of the season. I mean, that is, like you said, premeditated. People are even saying, like, that's assault with a deadly weapon, and it's hard for me to argue. Like, I always want to say, keep, police off the rink, like, let's try and see if we can solve what, Todd Bertuzzi even. I'm like, do we really need to file criminal charges?
Except this one, Bertuzzi, I agree with that.
Yes, yeah, right. But like this one, and like you mentioned the McSorley one, those are, that really is like, I'm using my stick to hurt you as bad as I can. And this one was right up there with McSorley. And, we saw the awful stuff that happened last year with, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank on the player's name that died from the skate cut.
That was more than the guy in England.
Yeah.
That's a couple years ago, right?
Oh, was that? Okay.
Right. And I think they just closed the police case over the summer of this year.
What did they find?
I think they wound up dismissing it, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Yeah. Matt Petgrave was the guy, and Adam Johnson was the guy who got cut. Yeah, he was. Let's see. Here's the news story here. Oh yeah, it was dismissed. You're right. And actually, Petgrave has joined the ECHL. So there you go. He's in our country now, apparently. But yeah, either way, there's some awful stuff that's going to happen in hockey, but this is the kind of thing, like, there's no excuse for this. They actually the brand or the Oshawa 67s did say, or was it no, Oshawa Generals, right? Is that the team?
The Ottawa 67s.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did say that they actually think he's going to be okay. Yeah, and which is great news. But still, at the end of the day, you can't condone this kind of stuff, and they should absolutely throw the book at Dragusika for this. And again, if you haven't seen it, Jeff Merrick reposted it on X, originally posted by Scott Wheeler, who's also covers hockey. If you want to watch it, but again, if you don't have a strong stomach, I don't recommend checking it out.
Yeah, you can also, a lot of you are consuming this through YouTube. When this is over, just find it on YouTube. Don't go to Elon's site.
No, yeah, it's a good point. Very good point. Yeah, and I actually thought, I was like, oh, I'll pull it up and we can watch it on the show. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that to people. If they don't want to see it, look it up on your own. Internet is very easy to find things. So I'm sure if you just look up Luke Dragusika, you'll probably find it very quickly.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how I found it.
Yep. Anything else from you, Bill, tonight?
No. We will. 24 hours from now, we'll be at the halfway point of our game. So
that's true.
Yeah, this is when the nerves start setting in.
Yep, we will see. We'll have a report for you, fans of the St. Louis Force, if Bill Day does in fact get his W tomorrow. But I am claiming victory. I am already claiming it, and I'm going to send a clip of this to our team so they know that I am claiming victory right now. We're going to pull it off.
Awesome. Yeah. Butcher's going to punch you in the locker, or Booker, sorry. He's going to punch you once we get in the locker room.
Yep. I'm sure he will, and I'll have it coming.
Yeah.
Well,
and he's going to punch me for continually fucking up his name.
Yes. You know what? He probably would. I've known that guy since high school, and that is very possible. All right. Well, thanks to our incredible sponsor, StrikeWithMike.com. That'll wrap up episode 8 of season 15 of the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the live show. Make sure to follow us on socials at LGB Radio and like, follow, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. For Kirk Price and Bill Day, I'm Jeff Ponder, and this was Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, everyone, win a game, hold a lead. Let's go Blues.
Yeah, it's almost time for the Chevy Chase Christmas vacation quote. Oh, I don't have it in me tonight. Let's go Blues or something.
Where's the Tylenol?
TV talking St. Louis Blues hockey, moving fast, can't catch the beat. Skates on fire, ice on defeat. Kirk, Jeff, and Bill